how's it going? Welcome to, what the hell is Matt doing today? Is that what we're calling this? I have no idea. But anyway, as you can see behind me, I've got the old truck and trailer hooked up, going on another adventure here. Molly dog's not going with us though. She's gonna stay with a friend for the day. This is gonna be a day trip. We're gonna go pick up something that might be pretty cool. Anyway, let's get going. Alright, so this is the result of the road trip. We have here an 86 Bronco II 4x4, 5-speed, was originally an automatic, hence a couple issues that I'll show you. Well, not issues, but things that need to be finished. Overall, in pretty darn good shape. I've literally done nothing to it. Actually, that's a lie. I can't say that. I have done things to it. I replaced the battery cable because the battery went dead and the cable was just trashed. And I replaced the liftgate shocks. I was going to do a video on that, but I mean, they're... Yeah, I'll show you. Well, frankly, that's just nice. Being able to open that. But as you can see, she's still real dirty. I haven't cleaned anything. These are nice and new. But anyway, these, you literally just... Hold on. Oh, wait. There you go. Wrap this clip. The whole thing comes off. Grab the new one. Push it on. Don't even have to take the clip off. Anyway, super easy. As you can see, it's in pretty good shape. Got a couple minor rust issues to take care of. Nothing's really through yet on the body, but need to get it fixed regardless. Got a little bit of the old mold action here going on because these windows are leaking. I just got a quote on replacing the seals in them. Somebody take them out, put them in, and it's like 600 bucks with the windshield. So we'll figure that out eventually. But you know, there's some stuff in there, and probably nothing in here. Nope. Not bad shape for a 30-year-old vehicle, 34. Got some things, got some tools. Pretty solid. Good times. Little rust on the doors. This one's pretty salvageable at this point, I think. Not a big deal. Door panels are dirty, could use some help. Headliner, need some help. This is one of my biggest issues here. Who's got a seat? Who has a passenger seat? I'll take a passenger seat. This is incorrect, and it doesn't work quite right. It's a little hard to get into 4-low, but once you get it in, it stays in. So I need a new one of these that comes from a 5-speed truck and the new boot. And then I got some, as you can see, she's a little loose there. I gotta figure that out. Hopefully that's not those bushings that are on obtainium. The door locks do not work. There's no actuators in there according to the previous owner. So we'll figure that out. This stuff is all trashed, and I looked at an LMC and it's on back order, so I like the vent windows, they're cool. Onto the front, she needs a bumper. Onto the tires, she needs some tires. I thought they were better when I went to look at it, they were not. But you know, the passenger door is about the same. Got some water, broken door switch. Generally just needs a really good cleaning. Had these flipped up because of the dog, but the back seats are in really good shape. This seat's actually in really good shape. Passenger door's not bad. Don't know that I'm a huge fan of these door panels. These might go away. That door closes a lot nicer. And then one other thing, it does need some suspension work. It's wobbly. And I don't know, I haven't looked into it yet. I don't know if it needs ball joints. The shocks don't seem terrible, but they could be bad. But see that spacer there? That right there. That is a legitimate way to lift a truck, apparently. And I'm not a fan of it. I would like to replace those with actual springs with no spacers, or I don't know, I was looking at the James Duff lift kit that comes with new bucket springs and dual shocks, and it's only like 3 inches for $1,700, but that's a lot of money. But the other thing I started looking at is that right there. So that might push me into that. I'm gonna have to poke on that when I take some tires off, and I'm sure we'll do a video later. But I just wanted to do a general introduction. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Something else I would like to fix at some point, which I'm not exactly sure how. See, no clutch. I would like to fix that because I think that's unsafe. E-brake needs fixed. The radio is fantastic. I'm just joking. Front speakers aren't even hooked up. Oh God. Doesn't sound too bad. It's got some Flowmaster, no, not Flowmaster, tear bombs maybe. Blast pack. I don't know, one of them cheap mufflers. It sounds pretty good at idle and about 2,500 RPM. It starts getting a little raspy. But yeah, there it is. You want to peek at the motor real quick? We'll do that. We'll look at that. Since I got the hood popped. It's a 2.9. I don't know what else you want me to say about it. Keep it long enough, it'll probably get another 2.9. This is actually the worst panel on the truck right here. It's the hood. It's not through or anything. I'm gonna try and sandblast that lip at some point and repaint it, but there's my introduction to the Bronco. Alright, so that video was from 2020. It's now March of 2023, the end of March. And you can tell by that revelation here that I've done a really good job of being consistent with my editing and uploading. So I'm going to try and do a little better at it, and this is my attempt to get the whole video started. So I've filmed a whole bunch of crap on it, and here's some more. One of the things that I'm always judging people on under YouTube videos is, do they clean their projects before they start it? You know, I get all the will it runs, you know, you're out in the field, but you know, these guys that are pulling stuff into their shop that are just full of the debris still, it's like, I don't know, it drives me nuts. So what I always start with my projects is I start cleaning. I thought I was recording while I was sweeping this, but I wasn't. Alright, so what am I up to today? Working on the old Bronco. First of probably one of many projects on it. But as you can see, I'm missing something here. Two somethings. I was driving it the other day and got stuck in some traffic, and it almost overheated, and it came out and grabbed the fan clutch, or the fan, and it just spun. So I think the fan clutch is bad because it's thermostatic on these old 2.9ers. So since I yanked it off, and FYI, that is reverse thread, so it's the opposite. What do you think is going to get it off? I'm going to get the old degreaser and spray this guy off. So I thought I'd give you a little look-see to see if we can see some before and after. Maybe turn the light on. Does that help? Ooh, it does. But I'm not going to get into this too much. It's not terrible. I just want to stay away from, trying to stay away from all the electronics on it because I didn't detect nothing. I will try to lightly get that right there on the valve covers. Mainly we're going to get the front of the engine here and the steering box. And I might hit the sides. Spray it off a little bit. She's still leaking, so I can't really wash it. I have no way to hold this. I didn't bring my old GoPro, so it's going to be a before and after. Alright, a little afterward spray here. Everything's all wet. Hopefully it starts. Yeah, it looks better. Oh, look at that. That looks way better. Yeah, I could have gotten the steering box a little better, but that's alright. And then I just did a quick spray off of the rest of the truck. Not much difference, probably. Excuse me. She's still dirty. I didn't spray those windows because those are leaky. But you can see that they're still pretty gross. But the main thing was to get this all clean, and it looks way better. Look at the top of that air conditioning pump. Anyway, what's that? I'll probably film putting the fan back on in the shroud. Well, I don't know. In the video, you can see that the clutch fan was off when I was power washing it. She was overheating in traffic. Deduced that that was most likely the problem because, you know, in the next clip you can see it just spins. But it also occurs to me that maybe the replacement fan is bad too, because how much clutch action is supposed to happen? Isn't that supposed to be spin fairly freely till it warms up? I don't know. I could be losing a few horsepower there, but at least now it doesn't overheat in traffic. Also, be sure to note that that's reverse threaded, because in the video I probably mentioned it 86 times. Gooey! This is the other fan. Yeah! That shouldn't do that. That's probably doing absolutely nothing. Alright, so that's the one I took off. It was reverse threaded. I'm going to edit this together probably with the power washing video before and after, because that would make sense. That's not a whole video in itself, right? That'd just be dumb. But here's the one that came off of a parts truck. And check this out. Oh, there's some resistance there, so that's going to do something. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go through, and if you can see there, I kind of cleaned out. I'm going to go ahead and wipe the rest of these down and the outside of this off, and we'll throw her on. So, yeah, cool. One more thing I noticed when I was doing all that is the thermostat was open and closing a little too much for my taste. So I determined that was kind of sticky and replaced that with a 160. I don't recommend doing a 160 on these unless you're running different engine control management, because I believe that the way it's working now is it doesn't think the truck is warmed up all the way. So it's keeping it in a closed loop and it's running. So it does some funky stuff every now and then. So thankfully, during all that process, it led me to do some testing. You know, while I was sitting there letting it run, I also noticed that there was a bunch of smoke coming out of it. That's never good, right? So in my brilliant thinking, I thought it was the door buzzer at first because it sounds terrible, and it happened to die while it was doing that, which it comes and goes. And it turns out it was actually just the debris around the blower motor and the heater box. Well, thankfully that happened at home where I could take care of it right away. It's pretty simple to, take the cover off, remove all the junk, and blow that all out, so not a big deal. Didn't burn the truck down, so that's good. So I've spent a ton of time on this thing, and even quite a few of the green cashy leafy monies on it, fixing everything from the headliner to lift kit to the e-brake, all kinds of stuff. If you name it, I've been touching on it. So now that we know that this thing exists, touch on that and summarize it or something, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. But the whole moral of this video is to basically get it out, get my butt in gear, and to say that it's time we ask this thing to do something else. Because we've had a couple adventures with it in 2022, which is a good time. Insert clip. So I think 2023 is going to be more, hopefully, light off-road trips and hot rod power tour. I really wanted to take the 84 big Bronco on that. This is my 84 Bronco. I bought it when I was 17 in Atlanta, Georgia, which that would have been 1999. Kind of a return to Georgia, but I just don't have the time and the money to do it at this point. Doesn't matter. We're going to take this on Hot Rod Power Tour 2023. It's not a hot rod, it's not fast, but it's old, and I've spent as much time and money on it as some of these other guys. Hell, probably more, because some of these guys are going to go out and buy something right before it and make a bunch of videos of them driving it and selling it, and probably have a way better time doing it than I'm doing, but whatever. Those videos are fun to watch. Maybe I'll do one of those someday. But yeah, Dad's going with me this year, so we're not gonna do anything that makes us suffer. We're gonna get the air conditioning fixed on this guy, get the transmission swapped, because I put a bad one in it. I took a bad one out, put a bad one in it, so that was a good job, man. I don't know what else to say, but other than the fact that I got a bunch of crap to do, a bunch of videos to edit, and a bunch of wrenches to turn and things to scrub and other things to paint and whatnot. So I'm just gonna get to it. So go out there, buy yourself a project, and get to it. Newman's Lab. It's Dave Dog. He's a good boy.